Morning VC. So I've been seeing some good videos around showing records from different countries of the world. Dylan did a great one showing a lot of his psych and rare rock from different countries. So I'm going to show you what I have here. I've got a lot of records from different countries in the world. There are 195 different countries, I believe. 2 of them not recognized. And I'm not going to take too much time on each record if I can. There's a lot of them here. I wanted to try to pull the records where it's pressed in the country that the artist is from. So I did that in most cases. I'll point out when it's not the case. But I thought it'd be cool to show a lot of these labels as well as these artists. So the first country we're going to go to is India. I got a lot of records from India, and this is a great one that Teddy turned me on to. This is Bismillah Khan, Ragatoti Mishra Thumri on his master's voice. He plays, this is a solo performance, he plays instrument, I believe it's pronounced Shahahai, even though that's not how it's spelled. It's S-H-E-H-N-A-I. It's an indigenous wind instrument similar to the oboe in tone, but having 7 holes on its staff in place of keys. Its music is very closely associated with the temple music of India. This is really a beautiful, fantastic record. There's plenty of different pressings of this to seek out. This one I got actually from Israel. The only time I've ever ordered a record from Israel, and it was a pleasant buying experience. I'll show you the label quickly here of his master's voice. They did a lot of records in India. Awesome label. The records sound fantastic, all of them that I have on this label. Really well recorded from India. Alright, moving on all the way to Australia. This is the only record I've ever ordered from Australia. It took quite a while to get here, but that was to be expected. This is the Brian Brown Quintet, Bells Make Me Sing on the Aya recording label. There was a record prior to this, I can't remember the exact name of it, maybe Carlton Streets or something like that. It's a funkier record. I couldn't get into it, but this one I really dig. It's a little more straight ahead jazz. Really fantastic. I can't remember the year on this. Let's see, recorded in 1979. One of the better jazz records to come out of Australia. Fred, Big Star 1000, years and years ago, talked about his records. God, that seemed like a decade ago. And I took note then, and it took me many years to pull the trigger on getting one. I kept waiting to see a copy show up in the States, and they just never, ever do. I think the other record might have got a reissue, but this one I never see, so I had to order it from Australia. But yeah, let's see if we can show you the label on this. It's just a white recording label. Great jazz from down under. Let's see where we're going next. Next, we're going to swing over to Africa for a little bit. I have a lot of African records, as you know. We'll start with a Zamrock record. So from Zambia, Mike Nioni, Kawawala. This is an original that I got from Dylan when he was getting all those records from Zambia on the Chris Editions Records label. Mike Nioni is a great Zamrock guitarist, singer. This is one of his better ones. Really dig this. Fantastic stuff. 1977. And great artwork. Going to Nigeria. Let's see, I've got this record. I could show a lot of Fela Kuti that I have, but I'm going to show you Tunji Oyalana and the Benders, Double Face. It's an original copy I got from Los Angeles from a guy there. It's on the EMI label, and EMI did a lot of records in Nigeria. This is top-notch condition for an African record, cover and record. One of the rarest records in my collection, to be honest. Killer stuff. It's Afrobeat, but it's different than Fela. It's really damn good stuff. Let's see. Staying in Africa, we moved to the Ivory Coast. And this is Boni Pascal. And this is really good. I'd say more traditional African style, soukous. This is Les Retours des Grands Cantadors de la Capitale. Toujours Boni Pascal Hussein Bati. And this is on, what label? The Doy Amis label? I'm not sure about that, but it's a really cool label where two people are shaking hands. This belonged to Jonas. He made sure I knew about that. Really good stuff from the Ivory Coast, and rare to find those records. There was a guy, he had a record store going out of business in LA during the pandemic, and I got a bunch of African stuff from him. Moving to Ghana. This I got actually from a seller in Germany. Might actually be that guy from WFMU. As he sells nothing but African stuff, and he gives a portion of the money to the artists. This is Smart Nagansa Agaku and the Sunsum Band Giwani, and this is really damn good. This is on the Gapaphone label. This is a high life record, and one of my favorites of the genre. 1981, pressed in Ghana. Pretty rare record, not expensive though. Moving to Northern Africa, to Morocco, I have this. I'd love to have some full-length records, which I'm on the look for. Record Safari actually had one at one time, and I should have jumped on it because it actually was a decent price. But this is, I gotta see, Naima Sami with Abdu El Omari, Kalani Gibra, and Zifaf Filfada. It's a 7-inch record, an original Moroccan pressing on Disc Gam. Really freaking cool. Keyboardist. There's 3 records that were reissued of his in different colors on the cover. Another artist that Fred Big Star had turned me on to a decade ago, and I can't remember where I found this. I think I got this on Discogs from France. But it was cheap. Really cool record. Great keyboards on that. All right, moving to Niger, where there's a lot of political turmoil with a military coup going on. One of my bosses at work is actually married to a man from Niger, and he was just over there for a good month or so. Luckily, he came back before all that went down. But this is a band I actually filmed at Snug Harbor, and the video that I put up here on my channel, it gets the most views of anything I've ever put up on my channel. I've had my channel going on 16 years, posting live stuff before I started doing records, but it's pretty much got the most views. Les Filles de Illighadad, and this is Egas Milan, the second record that they put out. Just beautiful, repetitive music. They use a water drum, and they real repetitive on the guitar. Fantastic musicians. I love this group. Really, really good. I have 3 of their records. Highly recommended. It's on Sahil Sounds, record label out of Portland, Oregon. So this is not pressed in Niger, obviously, but they're fantastic. I can't believe they played my local dive bar It was amazing. It sounded incredible. Check that. I'll leave a link to that video on here. And now I, of course, got this shirt there. Moving to Brazil. This is a great one. And there's a series of these records. This MPBC series on Philips. This is Marco Resende and Index. This is an original Brazilian pressing. Funky jazz, yeah, fusion in places. This has got a textured cover. This is really great. Yeah, Marcos Resende and Index. This is a Chris Cole favorite. I got this from Brazil. I think it was some guy on Instagram. What year is that from? Doesn't say. Not sure. Moving to Cuba. I actually had to get this from Cuba. I forget how I stumbled on this group, but they have a lot of records. This is their fourth record, Grupo de Experimentación Sonora, ICAIC. Love this cover. I think that's what drew me to this record. Really, really freaking cool. And yeah, Afro-Cuban jams of the highest order right here. See if I can show you this label. It's the Arieto label, and they sent me a free 7-inch on this label too. That's really dope, which was very nice of the seller. Very professional seller. I couldn't believe it. It was one of the best buying experiences I've ever had on Discogs. Getting a record from Cuba. Took a chance and turned out great. Yeah, one of my rare Discog success stories. Usually it's a travesty. Going to Argentina. This is a record I traded. You're not gonna believe this. I got a record collection from a friend's dad of 70s records. There was a lot of originals in there. Zeppelin, Floyd, you know, your basic stuff. But there was like the original textured cover, Fleetwood Mac or whatever it is. And I traded that whole stack of 150 records and a bit of cash, because it's probably one of the most expensive records I've ever gotten. But this was Dylan's original copy of Papo's Blues on Music Hall from Argentina, and it's a white label promo. Incredible blues rock, as Dylan will tell you, from Argentina. An absolute killer. Think Grand Funk, but from Argentina. Damn good shit. All right, going to Jamaica. I have a lot of Jamaican records. Obviously, this being a favorite. I can't remember where I got this, but this is Horace Andy, In the Light. So this is on Hungry Town. It's an original Jamaican pressing. One of my favorite vocalists of all time. Of course, he would go on to be in Massive Attack and sing Angel. But his early stuff where he sings and plays guitar is phenomenal, and this is a gem of a record. In the Light, Horace Andy. A year. I don't know the years on a lot of this stuff. I didn't look all that up, but that's Jamaica. Going to New Zealand. This is a record that is a result of the pandemic, and a phenomenal improvised record. Each member of the band had to record separately, and they had to, of course, mix it together. This is on the NOA label. This is Virtual Shadow Ensemble, Keep Your Distance. This is actually kind of pricey to get now, but I got it, I think, through Bandcamp, and it was shipped from New Zealand, airmail, and it got to me in just a few days. It was absolutely remarkable how quickly I got this from New Zealand. Extremely professional when you order from this band. Yeah, I wonder if they've done anything since. I haven't kind of gone back to look. But yeah, highly recommend if you like improvised jazz. There's poetry on this. There's a lot of different elements to this. A lot of players, a lot of synth, electric piano. The horns are great. Yeah, really damn good. All right, moving from there up to Finland. This is a record I got from Alex, order 247, I believe. Pekka Bajola, Haraka Billy O Poku on the Love Records label. Yeah, kind of fusion, jazz, rock. Pekka Bajola, great pianist. Dig the horns on this too. Really good record. Moving to Sweden. This is one that Alex turned me on to, and I got this record from Mats Gustafsson in Austria, the great saxophonist, record collector. Ivan Oscarsson and Consortes on the Dragon label. Great label out of Sweden. I'll show you the record on this one. It's beautiful mint copy. White, green letters, Dragon label. Show you the back cover. Kind of all over the place, this record. But Bengt Ernen is on trumpet, Bernt Rosengren on tenor, some of the who's who of Swedish jazz musicians. Fantastic stuff. Going to the Netherlands, one of my favorite musicians of all time, Han Benink. This is the new acoustic swing duo, Willem Breuker and Han Benink. Willem on soprano, alto, tenor, bass clarinet, and E-flat clarinet, and then Han Benink throws the kitchen sink at you. This was one of Greg's records from the big sale at Carolina Soul last year. One of the rarest records for me that I was trying to find, or one of the biggest, and I couldn't believe I was able to win this one on the Instant Composers Pool label. Great one from the Netherlands. 1967 this was recorded. Great free jazz, phenomenal improvised stuff. Moving to France. This is one that I don't think anybody here might know. This is Apa Uiz. This is the De Mer record. Kind of math rock, punk from France. Phenomenal stuff. Really, really dig this record. Apa Uiz, De Mer. See if I can show you the label on this. I no clue how I came across this. Was not through the VC. There's just regular white label. I think this was pressed in France for sure. It's got a lot of inserts. I can't remember where the heck I found this or heard about this band. Probably through the X out of the Netherlands. I think they played some gigs with the X. When on that DVD I have of them, their tour in France. Yeah, that's what it was. So I do remember. And I immediately went and bought this record after hearing them live on that video. Let's see what we got here. Going to Germany. A classic record from Germany. Who did I get this from? Mark Rapp. Big record collector. He's in our Facebook groups. I think he's up in Vancouver now. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee from Gila. This is I think a second pressing on Warner Brothers. It might be. I don't think it's an original, but it's from 1973. Yeah, this is phenomenal. This is Florian Frick on mellotron and grand piano. The Moogs on this are great. The guitars. Connie Veet on this, on vocal. Really good folky kraut stuff from Germany. Fantastic. Classic. Going to Japan, and I couldn't show a Japanese record without showing an Obi strip. This is the Far East family band, The Cave Down to Earth. And this is just great Japanese psych. Really, really good band. Got turned on to this band through reading that Jap Rock Sampler book that Jim at Channel Rufus turned me on to. Yeah, and I've found a few other records of theirs. Really damn good stuff. From Japan. Moving to Spain, a country near and dear to my heart. This is a favorite record from Spain, Betunizer, Gran Vida, on the B-Core Records label out of Barcelona. Betunizer is not from Barcelona, but from Spain, and they're pretty much the Spanish Primus. If you like Primus, you're going to dig Betunizer. High energy, great freaking drummer, bassist, lead singer plays guitar. They're a trio, phenomenal. The lead singer and lead guitarist, he also is in other bands. Coelho has solo stuff. Great, great freaking band. I'll leave a link to a video of theirs. Betunizer from Spain. Where are we at now? Moving to the UK. I'm going to show probably the best sludge metal record of all time. Fudge Tunnel, The Complicated Futility of Ignorance. I believe they're from Birmingham, or maybe Birmingham or Nottingham. I can't remember which it is. But the first like 4 songs are absolutely they just crush. Random Acts of Cruelty, The Joy of Irony, Back Down, and Cover Up. Cover Up is a killer freaking track. If you like heavy stuff, this is on Earache. This is one of the records that's taken me the longest in my life to find an original copy of. I had to order it from Germany. Luckily, it was a steal. I got it for like $50. This goes for well over 100, 150 and up nowadays. I've had the CD forever. I got it when it came out back in the 90s. But yeah, Fudge Tunnel, Complicated Futility of Ignorance. Great one out of the UK. Let's see where we're at next. Norway. This is a band that actually Dylan at Noble Records turned me on to because he was getting stuff on the Room Gramophone label, label that Mazzy champions. This is Hedvig Mollestad Trio, Smells Funny, female guitarist who absolutely rips on this. Yeah, this is a trio, fantastic stuff. Highly recommend. I file it in jazz, but it's more rock than anything. This was recorded 2018. Rune Gramophone, great label from Norway. Going down to Poland, in a classic label, the Polish jazz Muza Polski Nagrania label. This is Zbigniew Nemislawski. I probably butchered that. Quartet. One of the highly sought after records on this label. I got this from Diana Biernat from Digging in the Crate, who runs a record store, White Rabbit, in Lemgo, Germany. And she included one of her fine prints on the back of Albert Eiler that I keep with this record. I'll show you the Musa label from Poland. This is pretty straight ahead jazz. A little more straight ahead than I was hoping for. Not my favorite record actually on this label, but a great one nonetheless. So I thought I'd show you that one from Poland. Of course, Tom Minko has a lot of records on that label. Moving to Mexico, an iconic record from Mexico, one that Alex at Motor 247 turned probably all of us onto, this Louis Perez record, Ipan in Zitli Metzli, Mexico Magico Cosmico, en el ombligo de la luna. And this is an original copy I got from Earth River Records in Asheville. He actually mailed it to me. It sat on his wall for quite a long time. But yeah, this record's, there's all different types of genres you could just use to describe this record. It's very unique. but fantastic stuff. I keep it filed in my psych section. Why? That's where that's where it lives. But yeah, very cool record. Moving to Uruguay, back to staying in South America. Totem, Descarga, and Jason, he turned me on to this one, dude out in LA, in the VC, and I can't remember what label this is on. It's on a Uruguayan label, but it's not the first pressing, it's the second pressing. Still a very difficult record to track down, and I got this from Chile, I think, a seller there that Jason turned me on to, and it got here just fine. Phenomenal. The bass player in this is a killer. Really rocking stuff here. Totem. Try to leave some links to some of this music too, if I can, if I have time. Let's see where we're at next. Going to Belgium, so crossing the ocean again. Placebo. If you're talking Belgian music, you got to talk about Placebo. Mark Moulin on the keys is just absolutely phenomenal, and Philip Catherine's one of my favorite guitarists of all time. This is just dope music. All their records. I'd love to find Ball of Eyes, but I never see it, not even the reissues. This is a reissue on Music on Vinyl I got from Noble Records. Moving to Italy. This is Lucio Battisti, Amor e non amor. This is an original Italian pressing. I think this was probably from Discogs. This belonged to Anita Paulman at one point. Her name's on the inside of it. I'll show you this label. This is a really cool label. Dischi Ricordi, I think is the label. Not sure. And it's a nice piece of vinyl. It sounds fantastic. A little bit on the prog end of things at times with this. Great Italian record. Lucio Battisti, I think. Oh, who the hell showed this record years ago? Rob, It Sounds Strange, turned me on to this record. Moving to Greece. Yeah, there's a guy in the VC in Greece, and his name escapes me. I haven't tuned in a minute. I need to. But yeah, Ruined Families, Education. This is heavy as shit. I would have never expected something like this to come out of Greece. I think they're from Athens. This is on the Adagio label, which is a German label, but Greek heaviness, like Every Time I Die. Think that. This is from 2016, so they've been around a while. Fucking killer band. Ruined Families from Greece. All right, we're getting down to the end here. Going to the former Czechoslovakia, the Supraphon label is a great label from there, and this is Rudolf Dosek, Messa Prestani, Interlanding. And I had picked this up because Andrew Cyril is on drums on this, which is, it's just incredible. Rudolf Dosek's a great guitarist. This is really good jazz. Phenomenal stuff. All right, and now some favorites here. This is one of my favorite records of all time. This is one that Diana, Digging in the Crate, turned me on to. Manduca, the self-titled on the IRT label from Chile. This is a reissue. I think I got this at Noble Records. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I know I did. This is one of the most beautiful records you're ever going to hear in your life. Singing and guitar, absolutely gorgeous stuff. Yeah, I think Sherv just found one of his other records in London, England. I'd love to have anything of his. I've been searching for an original of his for years. They're pricey and usually not in the best of shape. Guy in Philly just had one for $300, but it wasn't. It was VG minus at best. Manduka, beautiful record, highly recommended. This is available from Chile. All right, of course I can't leave out Canada. A bunch of hosers and knobs, eh? Punk is really good in Canada right now. Bootlicker. This is one that Final Richie turned me on to, of course. This is on Neon Taste Records, Canadian label. I believe out of Vancouver. I think the band's also from Vancouver. Really damn good punk. And a great cover. Yeah, Bootlicker. You know, kind of continuing on in the DOA type deal. Let's see. And last but not least, the United States. I figured I'd show this one. This would be the best to show since I didn't show a record from Russia. Ramones' Rocket to Russia is the original copy. Label is this on the Sire Records label, and it has the really cool picture of the world on the back, since we're talking about the world. CBGB's the whole nine. Long video. That's everything. Peace.